We began our New Zealand Railway adventure at one of the country's premier heritage rail sites, the Glenbrook Vintage Railway. This line lets you take a trip back in time and experience what railroading was really like in this country in the early 1920s. Through the rolling hills of the Franklin District on the North Island of New Zealand steams one of the country's true gems. The GVR, as it's known locally, travels on a branch line that once ran from Glenbrook to Waiuku. Now passengers relive much of that journey on a 12-kilometer round-trip ride. The distance may not be long, but the trip is steeped in New Zealand railway history.
Try to do everything as authentically as we can to recreate and maintain the way it was back in the age of steam.
This place is definitely a throwback to another time. From the coal-fired steam engines, historic buildings, all the way down to the clothes worn by the staff.
These uniforms were brought into New Zealand for the New Zealand Railways. At the time, they were very much what Britain does, we do. I can tell you they're extremely hot and uncomfortable to wear.
And while the all-volunteer staff, in their period-appropriate garb, add to the nostalgia, the visitors and even those who operate this railway know the big draw is the iron horses they operate. The biggest one in the fleet is the lady of the line, the Diana, GVR's number 1250.
It was built in Dunedin in 1949, and it's unique because it's completely New Zealand made, except you know, like the lubricator and the valve gear and that. In fact, it's got American valve gear on it. It was mainly used in the South Island as goods and expresses.
An American bought the engine and named it for his wife, Diana. He then loaned it to GVR and on his passing bequeathed it to the railroad. On this day, his widow, the original Diana, and a few family members made a visit to see the old gal. Still operating as her husband intended, still bringing smiles to thousands of riders every year.
My uncle was a great rail friend, spent his entire life tracking the railroads, and fortunately had the opportunity to own a couple of steam engines, including the 1250 you see going by. It's one of the later engines built in New Zealand. It's a beautiful piece, and I'm just so glad to be able to come down from California, see it still operating as a legacy of his interest and involvement in the steam, you know, in the whole steam hobby.
And since Diana was built for mainline duty, she's capable of giving passengers another unique look at the past.
They have reportedly got up to 70 miles an hour, and they're quite capable of doing it. They've got what we call in the trade, very long legs.
While Diana doesn't pull the GVR at mainline speeds here, you're bound to roll through the countryside at a little bit quicker pace than other tourist railroads might. And the passengers don't mind it at all. They actually welcome it.
Well, I love the sound of the train, the tracks, and just the noise of it all. And the movement of the carriages going backwards and forwards. It's wonderful. Takes you back 50 years, you know, probably more. We just love it.
The memories that are reunited, you know, like rekindled from being kids on the trains, travelling for hours from Hamilton to the far north. Just wonderful, yeah.
Returning from Fernley, the train stops at Pukekohe. This is home to the railroad's maintenance building. Here, passengers are able to tour engines, carriages, and a fully functioning workshop, where volunteers restoring the railway rolling stock gladly explain the work they're doing and answer visitors' questions.
We've got everything under one roof that's to do with railways. I mean, we've got engines, we've got shunting engines, we've got carriages, we've got goods wagons, we've got equipment for doing lathes, we even got equipment for turning wheels. We've got everything. It's virtually fully self-contained. It's an experience for people coming out here.
All right now, folks, it's time to get back on the train. If you just work your way gently to the train, don't break your necks, nice and gentle, and back on board.
These volunteers take great pride in their work, constantly polishing the brass and making sure everything, from the restoration to the daily operation, is a true glimpse of history. Workers even use a turn-of-the-century bucket system to load coal onto the tender before every trip.
It's one of the things of the past, and it's quite efficient, using the compressed air from the engine to lift the coal buckets. The only thing that's very inefficient is filling the buckets by hand. That's hard work. It's just fascinating, and it's part of the Kiwi ingenuity, I would say, that they set up a system just like that, using very rudimentary stuff that they could knock together themselves.
Once loaded with coal, the fireman stokes the engine and slowly builds the steam pressure. Though the firebox's job is to heat the boiler and create steam, the crew sometimes uses it to create a little gourmet railroad food from time to time.
The shovel's a brilliant utensil for anything. I mean, it's not just for coal. You can use it for cooking food, eggs, bacon, baked beans, steak. So it's always been a good tradition, and we just like to carry it on here, and it's also good fun.
To really appreciate this journey and all the hard work the volunteers do, we need to look back on what it took just to get the line back open after the government closed it in 1967. Once enthusiasts acquired the land, they then had the arduous task of clearing the track and getting it back in service. As these old films show, it took a lot of manpower and time.
Yeah, well, the line had become heavily overgrown with gorse to the tune of about 12 foot high, and so there was a lot of slashing and weed spraying and sleeper replacement because the track had been run down, and so yeah, it took a lot of effort to get it up to scratch to start running passenger trains.
That effort paid off, and in 1977, with the help of local dignitaries, passengers were once again enjoying this part of history.
Sharing this whole experience with the kids has been really important. You know, days gone by, today's so fast and modern, and you do tend to forget about what happened in the past to what we are doing today. So just be able to share this memory with the kids is really important. And I mean, just being here, the smells, that noise is the best sound in the world as far as I'm concerned.
It's a sound that all the volunteers of the Glenbrook Vintage Railway hope will continue for many more generations.
There's a huge heritage there which we are guardians of, and hopefully we'll keep getting people interested in coming and passing it on.